Oh, hello there. It's Coaster Bro. What's that? You asked if I have any theme park merchandise from all the trips I've been on. As a matter of fact, I do. I actually collect them for my desk. You guys should check them out. This video is just going to be showing off this merchandise that I've collected and all the stories that go with it. Some of the first ones that we've got. This is Joe Cool, and he actually came, this was like 2011, back when Worlds of Fun opened their Planet Snoopy area. And there was like a social media giveaway, and these two were included in it, and I won it. So I got a bobblehead Charlie Brown and Snoopy. What's kind of unique about this Charlie Brown is Billy Butler, the hometown hero of some of the worst years of Royals baseball, signed this bobblehead. To kind of keep with Worlds of Fun, I've got the Mamba Nana coaster. So you guys have seen these. I've got a few of them that we'll be talking about today. But this was the first roller coaster that I operated back in 2008 with Theme Park Stud and Jeff. So got to give it a nod. While those were some of my first ones, these actually started the collection. So when I used to work at Six Flags Over Georgia, there were these two artifacts that kind of inspired this whole collection for me. The first one being this. Whee! There's Six Flags on this, and they represent the original Six Flags that flew over Georgia. So it used to be the themes of Six Flags Over Georgia. Those are kind of going away now, but the original theme, there's still a few with like the British section and USA. I think Georgia's still on there, so these flags represent that. Another thing that was just on my desk first day, old Mr. Six. May he rest in peace. I miss that guy. Six Flags Marketing, bring him back. He was a star. Sorry, Charlie. And then this also was kind of the first thing that I bought to add to the collection, and this is Busby from the Monster Mansion ride. You can see him flying in one of the picnic scenes as one of the animatronics, so had to rep Busby. Hopping into a few of my favorites in the regional parks. Got the Holodog right here. Got memories of riding the Howlers with my boys on the first coaster trip, so got to rep Howler. Holodog is his name, not Howler. Also there in the Midwest, we got King Louie, the old school Kentucky Kingdom mascot that was brought back. But I was really excited to find this in one of their stores. Going to my favorite regional park, Knoebels. Got a tiny Cosmo. He's kind of creepy in person, but real cute as a little stuffed animal. And then one of my favorite finds that I've ever found in a small park is Wally from Waldemere. They've got a really cool, like old school mascot. It's a teddy bear. Went to Lagoon last summer. They didn't have a lot of merch, but they did have a cool cannibal drum. So apparently this fits with the theming of that roller coaster. I guess people who eat people also play the drums. Know I had to get something to rep my favorite coaster. This is a Fury Hornet. It's a keychain, but it's way too big and gaudy for a keychain, and it hooks right onto my Six Flags flags. So it's like he's flying. Whee! Heading to Tennessee for the Wild Eagle. A lot of memories on this ride. My sister actually loves the Wild Eagle. Plus, this is like the sign that's out front, so that huge, I guess it's a bald eagle probably, some sort of eagle, but spread just like this, right at the front of the ride's entrance. Got Shamu for SeaWorld. Probably gonna not be a part of SeaWorld one day, so I had to grab it. Then for my 300th coaster, it was at Luna Park. We have the Coney Island Cyclone, which this is a really cool, like stuffed, classic looking cyclone train. So if you ever go to Luna Park, keep an eye out for this one. We got it from the stand across the street from the ride. And then to go hand in hand with Cyclone, also have a Cyclone Nano coaster in a plastic case. It's super fancy. Ooh. But my wife got this as a gift for, I don't know if it was my birthday or Christmas or something like that, but it's pretty sweet looking. And I don't want to get like too many Nano coasters, so one that represents my 300th coaster, and it's also classic. Gotta have it. When we were in Denver last summer, we went to Lakeside Amusement Park, and they didn't have like any shops, so I just have some ride tickets that we didn't use from Lakeside. Ooh. Come on, Lakeside, sell some merchandise. It's easy. As I kind of started this collection, one thing I realized that kind of sucks is when you go to different Cedar Fair and Six Flags parks, there's not a lot of like park specific mascots or like signature ride merchandise. It's all just kind of very vanilla and bland. But just to kind of represent Cedar Fair, do have Woodstock here. So Woodstock actually has a little bit of a backstory. When I started dating my wife, she came down to Atlanta, and just to find something to do, we went to a Toys R Us and we found 2 Woodstocks. So I kept one in Atlanta and she keeps one in her classroom in Kansas City. So we just both had one of these for whenever we were doing our long distance thing to just kind of remind us of each other. One of my favorite thing about the small parks of America is when they have very obscure mascots and then they actually have merchandise for them. So my favorite bobblehead of the collection is from Adventureland. I believe this guy's name is Bernie, which is a sweet name, but he's got his little tongue hanging out. And this is only like a $10 grab, so this was a no-brainer to get. One thing I also try to represent in this collection are just like theme parks and attractions that I've worked in. So very prized possession here. I used to work at a zipline place called Go Ape. So this is actually a minifigure of me that my boss created when I left, and she sent it to me. But it says, "You're tremendous," because tremendous was like a pun in our mission statement. And since I left to Legoland, it was like perfect. So like a really cool gift. One thing that was awesome with working at Legoland is if you've ever worked at a Legoland park and you've had a desk job there, or any place to just keep a nameplate, they make like a Lego nameplate for you. So this is mine, and I kind of put my collection of minifigs because at Legoland parks you can trade your minifigs with kids who bring them in. So some of the coolest ones from sets that I have are on this. Some of them that represent well. I have like a Six Flags representation right here. There is a Hermione without any pants. She sits in the back there. I've got like Anna and a couple of custom ones that I've made. The Joker's pretty sweet right here. But that's my collection there. And if you look closely, there's a ring from the Knoebels carousel. And then another thing that happens at some Legolands whenever you leave, the master model builder will sometimes create something for you just kind of as a memory of working at the place. And he made me a roller coaster made out of Lego bricks. So that's pretty sweet. Then of course you have to have a Cedar Point souvenir, right? So whenever I think of Cedar Point, I just think of huge roller coasters and a crazy skyline. So I think this is actually a Coaster Dynamics thing that's sold at the park. But yeah, it's the skyline. It's the most memorable part of that park to me. Moving on to some Universal merchandise, we have E.T. So I got E.T. to represent Universal Florida, mainly because I think E.T.'s life is, I don't know, shelf life. I don't know how much longer that ride is gonna last. But my favorite thing about E.T. is he just kind of looks like a penis. You know, I was told that after I bought him, but gotta rep E.T. because I really wish Universal would have more rides similar to like a Disney dark ride. That's kind of what E.T. is to me. To represent Islands of Adventure, I've got Spider-Man bobblehead, as this was Theme Park Stud's ride when he worked at Universal. Kind of a shout out to him there. And then for Universal Hollywood, it's got a little Hogwarts miniature statue thing. All right, now I'm gonna move on to the Disney parks. I get a little carried away with the Disney merchandise. There's gonna be multiple representations for the parks, or some don't even really represent the parks. They're just cool merchandise that I put in this collection. The first is this statue of, I believe it's a painting in real life, and I found that out after I got this, and I think it might be Norman Rockwell. I don't know, I'm not an artist. You can see we got Mickey Mouse looking at himself in the mirror while drawing Walt. Pretty sure there's some symbolism there. Art people, let me know. This one just kind of qualifies as a cool piece. You could say it's Magic Kingdom because they have Enchanted Tales with Belle there, but I've never experienced it. But how can you not have the chip mug? I also have this tiny Tinkerbell, so one of my co-workers from Six Flags over Georgia got this for me after she saw pictures of me at the Tinkerbell meet and greet. basically the story behind this, me and Theme Park Stud had a few drinks before going into the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and of course we went to that Tinkerbell meet and greet. Epcot's one of my favorite Disney parks, not my absolute favorite, but it's up there. And so I had to get this Figment because he's my favorite character at the park, and then he was also dressed up for Food and Wine. So this one's 2015 version. That was my first visit to Epcot's Food and Wine, which is my favorite festival. So this was like the perfect storm of merchandise to represent Epcot. Then the rest of this is going to represent Disneyland. So on the first visit, I got a black and white Mickey Mouse, so you call it Steamboat Willie, I guess. I don't know, he doesn't have the hat on, so I'm not sure. And then Oswald. I think there is actually a history of Oswald being acquired by Disney and being able to be in California Adventure. So this represents old school Disneyland, the OG, and California Adventure with Oswald. And I do represent my honeymoon in this collection as well with my wife. So these are our buttons. This was her first ever visit to Disneyland, and then we have our happily ever after honeymoon buttons. So these definitely stay in the collection. And then my last and most recent purchase, I think it's a Funko Pop, but it is the Matterhorn Yeti riding the Matterhorn. So going back to our honeymoon, this was our favorite ride that we rode. It's one of the few rides that we rode a lot of times during the trip. So that's it for the collection. It's still growing, so maybe we'll do an update one day. But in the comments below, let me know, is there anything that I should definitely get for this collection from maybe your home park or your favorite park that you have? Also, if you like the video, make sure to subscribe. We can also be found on social media at Coaster Cuzzies. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, probably on some other places too. Just check us out. And then check out our podcast, Coaster Cuzzies. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching, guys.